All right. Hey, everybody. We just want to thank you, first of all, for taking time to sit down and watch this. I know everybody's busy, but this is very important. And tonight it's about guys, right? Got all guys talking about guy stuff. We know it's hard to be a guy, right? A lot of pressure, working full time, trying to support your family, trying to get by. A lot of times it's donuts out the door and coffee through the day and standing in front of the pantry at night. And it's hard to survive. And I got three other guys here with me tonight that really are passionate. They all got special stories and they just want to share from the heart. And I don't want to waste any more time, so I'm going to kick it off to Eric.
All right, thanks, Dan. So a few years back, my wife came to me and she says, you know that prenatal that I've been on? Well, it's done some amazing things for me, and I think you need to give it a try too. And I said, what? You got to be crazy. You want me to take what? And she said, well, it's not really a prenatal. It's like fruits and vegetables, but they put them in a capsule. And I said, what? Fruits and vegetables in a capsule? I need more information. And, us guys, if it doesn't make any sense in the first 5 seconds, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. It worked for you. That's good. The kids can have it. That's cool. But I'm good. I'm not gonna give that a try. It took me 6 or 7 months to see it on one of my buddies' kitchen tables. And I said, well, you take that fruit and veggie stuff too? He's like, yeah, I've been on it for years. Your wife's on it. You don't take this stuff? I'm like, no. He's like, dude, quit being a knucklehead. Go home, give it a try. It's just fruits and veggies in a capsule. It ain't gonna hurt you. It's totally fine for guys to take. So that's when I decided to give it a try. The stuff I'm talking about is called Juice Plus. I wanted to just run through a couple things with you real quick. That's the veggie. That's the fruit. That's the vineyard. That's the core of the product line, along with some shakes, some omegas. But what I love about it is that it's just whole food. It's that easy. It's dehydrated produce. During the process, I'm no scientist, so I'm not going to get super technical. But they take all the water out. They take all the sugar out. And they leave all the really good stuff that your body needs, the stuff that your body knows what to do with. And so that's what I love about it. It does have a nutrition label as opposed to a supplement label. So what you're getting is actually a food. And then you can see that it's also NSF certified and kosher. That NSF certification means that it's been tested and what's in these pills is actually what's going in your body. And the other items that I've got over here are our shakes. Vanilla, yummy, tastes like cake batter, and chocolate. So you don't have to do them just as shakes. All these ladies have been on Pinterest and they've figured out how to put these in brownies and make them into like cookie dough batter things. And even my son gets into it and he's starting to get creative. But what I love about it is I get my micronutrition here. And then when I'm starving and I'm on the go, rather than hitting a drive-through, I just pop a shake with some water, some ice, and it saves me for a couple hours. So I wanted to bring all these items up because it's something that's really impacted my health and my family's health over the last several years. My whole family was on it. I was the last one to get on board because I'm a knucklehead. And it's kind of crazy. I had the most to gain from it. So before Juice Plus, I was on about 5 different allergy medications. I was on 3 different migraine medications. I couldn't go out to the park with my kids. I'd have to watch from the inside of my house while my wife was outside playing baseball with my son. And it killed me. I grew up playing baseball. I lived in the Central Valley of California, and I just figured, that's where everything's grown. That's where everything's blossoming, and that's why I have allergies. It's just, part of my life. I didn't realize that a solid plant-based diet could be so important. I cleaned up my eating, but really it wasn't until I included Juice Plus into my daily diet that I really started seeing some true benefits. I can't really say that it cured my allergies and my migraines, but I know that it made me more aware of what I put in my diet and in my body. And since taking Juice Plus over 6 years ago, I've been free of all prescription allergy medication. I literally wouldn't be able to go outside. I'd have an inhaler, Claritin, Allegra, eye drops, nasal spray, all the stuff to mask all the symptoms. And I had migraines probably every other month, the kind that would just knock me out, make me totally nauseous, wouldn't be able to go to work. I'd be asleep in my closet due to light sensitivity, and it would just literally knock me out for the whole day. So thanks to this amazing product and the persistence of my wife, I can say that I'm living a different lifestyle these days. I'm out at the park right now playing with the kids. They're in the background here. And now my choice isn't, do I go outside and suffer and then come back in while they're at the park? The choices now are which park we're going to go to. And that's a beautiful thing. So that's my story. I'm going to kick it over to Darren now. Take it away.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you for sharing. And thanks, everybody, for letting me share tonight. So, everybody, my name is Darren. And I first heard about Juice Plus from a good friend almost 5 years ago this month. And it immediately made sense to me because I had been on and off cholesterol-lowering statin drugs for over 20 years. And at the time when I heard about Juice Plus, I was on this medicine. And my history is that anytime I'd go off that medicine, my lousy cholesterol, my LDL cholesterol would spike up and I would be back on the medicine again. And nothing really seemed to work except for that medicine. And I just did not want to be on it forever. So I was always looking for a way to improve my health in a natural way. And really this stems back to me losing my dad at an early age. So my dad passed away at the age of 40 from a massive heart attack. I was only 3 years old. And he left my mom with myself, a 3-year-old, and then 4 other siblings. So I had 5 kids. My wife had 5. My mom had 5 kids. So there was 5 of us. And it really was a huge impact to my mom. So as I got into my 20s, my mom really wanted me to get my blood work done, and I did. And that's when I found out I had elevated cholesterol levels, and I had that family history, which wasn't looking good. So what I did is I went cold turkey, went off the medicine, started eating just the trio that Eric showed you, the red, the green, and the purple, and the shakes. And for 6 months, I made really no other changes because I really wanted to test this thing to see what would happen. 6 months later, I went back and had my blood work done, and my actual numbers were better on the Juice Plus than they had been on the medicine. And this is the first time when I'd gone off that medicine that they did not spike up. So I was immediately like, man, this is amazing. Couple other things that I noticed was my workout. So I was trying to work out, play basketball, do things like that. And I was having prior to Juice Plus, I was having really bad hip and knee pain. And then all of a sudden my wife actually noticed, she said, "Hey, Darren, you're playing basketball almost every day. I thought you had to take some days off with your pain." And I was like, no, like I didn't even notice it, but I've been able to play every single day. And learned later that was inflammation that was going on in my body, and it was gone after only a few months of eating Juice Plus. And 5 years later, I'm still able to play basketball and work out every single day. And I'm still not taking any over-the-counter or prescription medicines at all for my cholesterol or for anything else. And so I feel like this has been such a blessing. But guys, like if you're like me, I was really, I really wanted to find it, so I was really into it. But I also wanted to figure out about the science. Because the Juice Plus, you hear, there's science behind it. So I did go and look at the studies when I first heard about this. And we've had, I guess, over 35 published studies in leading medical journals. And 2 that really stood out for me as I was getting on this, in eating Juice Plus, where there's a study out of the Medical University of Graz in Austria on inflammation that I talked about. And the study was actually done on athletes. And what stood out to me was that after these athletes took the Juice Plus, they saw massive reductions in their inflammation. They were able to measure that and figure out that inflammation, that pain was gone. And they were able to increase their workouts and more intensive, more consistent as a result. And that totally backed up later on, what I was experiencing playing basketball, was that I was able to do the same thing. I had the same exact experience. And then the other one, the one that's probably most impactful was one, we have a lot of studies that are done on coronary health and heart health. And this one was one that was done at the University of Vanderbilt Medical School. And it was done on, older gentlemen that had hypertension and high blood pressure. And they looked at the plaque that was building up in their coronary arteries. And, all of these folks came in with kind of high risk. And this was a 2-year study that they did, which was really amazing. And they were eating the trio that you heard about, the red, the green, and the purple. And they saw massive reductions both in their blood pressure, but also in the plaque buildup that they in their coronary arteries. And so it was incredible what they saw just over this study and over this small period of time in a small group. So again, that's just 2 of the over 35 studies that were done on Juice Plus that really related to me, but that really showed me, like, not only did I have this story and this personal experience, but also the science was there to back it up. So I am just so grateful that our friends share this with me and with my family, and that I can share with you today. So thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it over to Dennis, who's going to share next.
Thanks, Darren. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for allowing me to share tonight. My journey with Juice Plus began a little over 2 years ago, and definitely to say that I wasn't on board initially, or even I was definitely skeptical that whole food nutrition and a capsule or gummy could make a difference. But I knew where I was, and at that point I needed to make definitely a change. I was 20 plus pounds overweight. I didn't feel very good. I wasn't sleeping well at all. I had high cholesterol, and just not motivated to really do anything activity-wise, as far as working out, getting outside, enjoying nature. And if anybody knows me, definitely that's where I want to be. I want to be outside, and I love it. So I took a chance and started taking Juice Plus, and I kind of look back, and I think that's kind of in my mind the catalyst that kind of got me going. Because if I'm honest with myself, and most guys, again, we're knuckleheads, and it takes us a while to kind of get things. I was in depression, not only for my health, but I wasn't being the father I wanted to be, and I definitely wasn't being the husband or role model I needed to be for my family. So I had to make that change in my mind, and luckily my neighbor took a chance and shared with me and was brave enough to share that. So fast forward about 14 months later, my health has been dramatically improved. I initiated the Shred 10 program, which has allowed me, I think, to make a total transformation. I'm down 20 plus pounds. My cholesterol is under 200. Just got my cholesterol back probably a couple weeks ago. I'm plus 16 to the good cholesterol. And, from last year, I'm down 10% body fat. If somebody told me, 14 months ago, 2 things: I'd be running 2 half marathons last year. I do 3 or 4 races, Tough Mudder, Warrior Dash, Green Beret Challenge. Frankly, I'd have told them they're crazy, because I think sometimes guys just don't get it, and it takes us a while to get on board. But definitely, I think Juice Plus was a catalyst, and then the transformation with Shred 10. And for me, it's just been a gift that I can never, ever repay back. But what I can say, I'll always pay it forward. And that, to me, is something you can't measure. So with that, I appreciate you guys letting me share, and I'll turn it over to my Shred buddy, Dan Radford.
Hey, thanks, Dennis. And he is my Shred buddy. I'm going to show y'all a couple pictures right here. And this is technology right here. So we'll see how this works. But I just want y'all to see that. And those are my brothers. And you wouldn't know it because, they're not like rail skinny, but they're definitely not that big tater in the middle. And then here's another picture. This was August 2016. I'm going to talk more about this picture in a second. There's 2 things you're going to learn about those pictures. 1, I love plaid, right? That's a given. 2, I was in bad shape. I was 331 pounds, and if it did not come off a drive-through window or a gas station aisle, it was not in my nutrition. I was living off of energy drinks and pork skins and Snicker bars and whatever. 4 liters of diet drink a day, and living is a loose term because I may have been alive, but I wasn't truly living. I couldn't play in the floor with my kids and without hurting the next day. And that's tough. And let me tell you why it's tough. You know, I was very blessed to have a dad. He was 42 when I was born. And you talk about being a teenager and your dad's in his mid-60s, and didn't slow him down. We were like hiking through the mountains and playing in rivers and creeks and just walking through the woods and eating peanuts and talking and catching crawdads, and nothing slowed him down. And that's the dad that I wanted to be for my kids, but I couldn't. And I knew I needed to change and didn't really know how to do it. Fortunately, my wife was already eating Juice Plus, and I was seeing a change in her. And I was saying it was everything but Juice Plus. I didn't want to give it the credit. And finally she said, here, take this. And she put 6 capsules in my hand. And folks, those 6 capsules was a start to a change in my life. It was crazy because I was taking it because I love my wife. I love kissing on her. And she told me to do it. And I said, yes, ma'am, because those 6 capsules weren't worth stopping the kisses. But I was still eating the bad junk, right? It wasn't until I saw this picture in my daughter's daycare that the light really clicked on. I did not know I looked like that. I had no clue. And it's not about looks, but that's how I was. That's what I was doing to my body. And I was embarrassed to see that picture. I was ashamed. And I wanted that change. And I started to get serious about it. It wasn't just the weight. I had high cholesterol. I was dealing with in that year, 2016, I was dealing with my 3rd ear infection. The doctor was talking about putting tubes. And let me tell you guys, when the doctor says you're going to get tubes in a grown man, you know, you're like, have you lost your mind? I'm not a 3-year-old. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm a grown man. So that was tough. And I was wearing a CPAP mask to bed. You talk about killing your love life, fellas. I know there's guys watching this that deal with the same thing. Guys, I was married 6 months, 28 years old, and I had to start wearing a CPAP mask. You talking about doing this mode right here before you go to bed? It's embarrassing. And I know there's guys out there hearing that can relate to that. And so I started with those 6 capsules, incorporating that in my body. And you hear all these guys, they all have the same story, right? Miraculous things have happened. And every guy's story is different, but the common theme is whole food nutrition. That's what it is, right? They're not magic pills, right? It's just fruits and vegetables. That nutrition fact label that Eric showed you on the back is the same label that's on your carrots, all right? It's no different. But it changed my life. I started wanting and craving fruits and vegetables. It was crazy because I'm not a fruit and vegetable guy. I'm the guy that says, pass the bag of potato chips, right? I'm the guy that's saying, give me another plate of potatoes with bread and butter on it, right? I'm a meat and potatoes guy. And when I saw my kids eating grapes, it's like, man, them grapes look good. I was like, holy mess. What did I just say? Like, I was an out-of-body experience. And the reason why, and I didn't know it, and my dad always said this, you feed that tiger, and that's what it'll crave. And I was feeding that tiger for so long, crap, that's what my body was craving. But I was putting those 6 capsules in my body, and I was getting 30 different varieties of fruits and vegetables in my body, and my body started craving that. And that was amazing. And Dennis talked about the Shred 10, and I love it. The capsules were the catalyst. It was the start, the beginning, getting that whole food nutrition in. But the Shred 10 was what really pushed me there. And it's just 10 days of incorporating a bunch of good food, try to get as much whole food nutrition in as possible, and try to cut out the bad stuff, right? So try to eliminate the gluten, the dairy, and the alcohol and the caffeine, and try to minimize the processed food, try to get some sleep, right? Try to stop eating after 6:30. Stop, you don't need to eat, vanilla ice cream while watching 11 o'clock news, fellas. You know what I mean? Sports Center does not always have to include the bag of Doritos, right? So, and that was critical. And you can ask Dennis. And when we first did our first Shred 10 and my wife told us about it, the first thing I says, man, I don't know if I can give up that beer for 10 days. I don't know if I can give up that caffeine. And the reality was, if I can't give up something for 10 days, I've really got a problem. But the amazing thing was, after that 10 days, I was able to break those chains, and I was no longer enslaved to that diet. I hadn't had a diet soda in 17 months, fellas. And let me tell you, I don't miss it. You think you got to have that Diet Mountain Dew run down the road? You're wrong, right? 10 days, I was able to break that chain. And every time I do a shred, the key is I'm able to break another chain. And step by step, I'm incorporating more good things into my diet and less bad things. I really hope you've enjoyed these stories tonight. Somebody shared this with you because they care about you. They love you. They want you to know that you're not alone, that this isn't a product for a bunch of girls in yoga pants. This is for men. This is for everyday people, guys. And I just hope you take this. And if you have any questions, right, about the Shred 10, go to shred10.com. Talk to the person who sent you this and find more about this product, guys. Thank y'all for taking the time to watch this.